What's going on, brothers? Just let me tell you the name. Got another video for you. It's written title, You're the Chameleon, Part 20. Here goes. So, as I've said in my previous video, in regards to these trollops, these ditch pigs, these desperate chameleons, the food is running away from them. The food is running away from them. And they can't do piss about it. So, a couple have decided to worm their way into this space to try to mollify us and hijack this message. And despite their best efforts, they failed. So this latest chameleon, she started a channel. It looks like the channel is at least 4 months old. I was scrolling through YouTube and I came across a video with a title that read, SEX is mandatory. That's what the title of the video read. So I checked out the channel and I saw on the dashboard, red pill for women. And this is how you know that that individual is a chameleon. She has to be in her, either in her late 40s, early 50s. But yeah, it's definitely a chameleon. Especially with titles like SEX is mandatory. And a title that reads, Men are not the oppressors. Ha! Too little, too fucking late. This reminds me of the verse, the scripture in 1 Timothy's that reads, do not muzzle the ox when it treads out the grain. Do not muzzle the ox when it treads the grain. Basically, if you kill the ox or muzzle the ox when it works for you, you will starve. But the problem with this is that in this day and age, these trollops have not only muzzled the ox, but they've killed it. They've done the same thing with the golden goose. They've killed the golden goose, and the golden goose that they couldn't execute, they flew away. They've been doing this for 55 years. But now, the food ain't coming. There's a famine, a deficit, and let's be real. These trollops and these chameleons know why there's a deficit, and a lot of them don't really have the spine to admit it. You know, they want to feign ignorance. They want to play dumb out here, but we know why it happened. It happened because they decided to weaponize marriage, dating, and relationships. Dating and relationships became a game of fraud, usury, and extortion. How much money can I get out of men? They did that. And they did the same thing with marriages. Hence the reason why they came up with the concept of starter husbands, starter marriages, and divorce parties. All of those were their concepts. And they used them as a means to get resources out of men. And if you say anything about it, then it means that you are a misogynist or a racism fool, whatever the goddamn cliche is. And they kept this shit going for decades until enough men decided to just close their wallet and walk off to greener pastures. And here we are. The growth of passport bros is on autopilot. The growth of this Mgtow philosophy is on autopilot. The growth of SYSBM is on autopilot. The growth of the Stingy Men's Association is on autopilot. The growth of Blue Book Gentlemen is on autopilot. But you still have a few of these chameleons who want us to soften our tone, try to mollify us. They put out articles, even videos, titled, Men are not the oppressors. Nope, it's too little too late for this shit. You see, these trollops, these chameleons, these ditch pigs are learning that misinjury, casual misinjury, does not turn men on. It turns them off, and more men are just running for the hills. They're not interested in a woman who is all mouth and no brains. That's why 63% of men don't interact with women out in public anymore. Courtesy of #Mgtow. Hashtag listen and believe. Hashtag waste his time. All these concepts came from them. But they're not going to accept any accountability for this, so that's why these philosophies are going to continue to grow and thrive. And the same thing goes for the Iron Age of entertainment, but that's a topic for another video that's coming out of the pipe. But I'm going to focus on this installment of Year of a Chameleon. This chameleon is obviously desperate. And more than likely, her target demographic is not women, it's men. And I'm going to say it again. If these chameleons, if these old trollops were sincere about helping men, if they were sincere in their message, then they would be trying to correct their sisters. They would not be seeking a male audience. But they're doing this because they're parasites. The food is running away from them, the resources are running away from them, and they can't do piss about it. They can't stop it from happening. But what they can do is they can change their colors, they can soften their tone, and pretend to be on the opposite side of all our arguments. And that's falling flat. The bait they're putting out isn't catching any fish, and they're getting frustrated and angry because the men that they're trying to find are not biting down on the bait. And they've earned that. They've earned that. Hell, for you brothers out there who are principled, you brothers out there who are well-versed in what you do, you brothers out there who are kicking ass in your trade, keep doing that. You hear? Keep doing that. You see, the casual misinjury, the false accusations, and this stage theatrics and clout chasing from these trollops is not going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's inherent. So leave them out there. Lock them out. Zero tolerance, zero restraint, zero mercy. Leave them out there. This is part of the law of reaping and sowing. This is part of the universal law of reaping and sowing. If you plant bad seeds, you get a shitty harvest. Well, they're getting a terrible harvest. They will reap this terrible harvest again and again and again. They did it to themselves. And I know there's a few of them out there who are trying to engage in copium, put out articles like, women are quiet quitting dating. No. The problem is the Chad, the high-value man that you want, pretty much told you to fuck off. That's what the problem is. The 6-figure, 7-figure men that you want aren't looking for you, they're leaving. That's what it is. That's what the problem is. But it's not what I think. How about you, brothers? What are your thoughts on the subject? Love to hear about it in the comment section. Hit me up. This is Mgtow. That's all I got for you. Like the badass series in the commentary, feel free to subscribe. If you want to donate, this is my chain, find tip jar. Whatever, right inside the screen, that's the G+ icon. You find my Cash App there too. This is Mgtow. Your brothers out there, stay safe, stay vigilant during these perilous times. And as for these trollops, and those are the problem we say and we say it, give them nothing. This is Mgtow PSA. More to come from the state. See you soon.